Hi there, today we're looking at Brooke Carter's response to the claims of phones being factory reset wiped at the party by some of the party goers. Whilst I made a brief reference previously, it's good to see it directly from the horse's mouth. I know some people can argue and say Brooke Carter isn't a key person within the case because they were not a witness, they're not a party goer, they weren't even in the country at the time, but they are closer to certain party goers and beyond, where information could have been exchanged and conversations could have come about in the background between them, with being close to Stevie Howard, the mother to Avery Carter, etc. Who knows what conversations go on in the background. So if Brooke can provide a backstory behind things, what she's been told, yes, it's second-hand or third-party information, just like when you see it from those within the community who aren't tied to the case, but have reached out or vice versa, and information has been passed on. Same process at the end of the day. We're just looking at it from all perspectives to get an idea for that consistency and to catch up on points which may have been forgotten about. I wasn't around since day one, so I'll be still catching up on previous conversations and points reiterated. And what it also gives is a chance for those for their memories to be remembered about, and if any of you can contrast what's said in today's video compared to how it's been stated in the past, is there a level of consistency or not? That's another important thing to be looking out for. Welcome to those that are currently here in this live premiere. Share your thoughts, opinions, reactions in the live chat box on the right hand side of the screen. And by the end of this video, if you got any additional thoughts or questions, drop a comment down below under the video. It helps with spreading awareness of this video itself. And in the comment section, you'll see a pinned comment by me with additional links if you do want to support this channel. Big shout out to those recently that have done so, such as Cleo and some others. And if you want to catch up on recent coverage, including the video I did last night, which is quite important, top right where the eye symbol is, click up there, you'll be able to find it and the full playlist. So the order of how we're going to do things today: we're going to check the odd conversation out on Facebook page. I think it's the case discussion one, what Brooke had to say in response to someone else's point. And then another side post just to show the way thoughts and opinions are gathering and how much of a mess it can be at times. That's just brief, don't worry. And then it is time we'll catch up on some comments as well. With that all being said, let's get straight into the video. Here we are. This was 13 hours ago by Tammy, appears to be a different one, saying, saw a post a few days ago. They were talking about phones being wiped around 3 to 3:15 a.m. that Monday morning. If true, what happened? Because Noah didn't walk away until 3:30. Yeah, I do remember the reference as well by Justin Roy in the past where he said, from 3 in the morning onwards, for about 15 minutes, things went radio silent. Is it normal for that to happen at a point where Noah would likely still be alive? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we don't know the exact timestamp of when the shower took place, or supposedly after that when Noah was running around teabagging people. If that's truly true, the timestamp there, unknown. The bedroom debacle, sleeping situation being an issue. One of the catalysts for causing Noah to walk away, we don't know the timestamp of that either. All we know roughly is that 2:40 a.m. side-by-side rollover from the footage that Kaden watched of Noah getting out of the vehicle with a bloodied nose. And then 3:30 being the time provided by a couple of people here and there, and I think referenced by Jack as well, as to when Noah walked off east towards the highway. So there's a few grey areas in between, but the main focus is the phones being wiped. Why? Why at that time as well? If it's before Noah walking away, if it's before Noah's death, why would anything need to be deleted in advance? Like, being prepared for what's going to happen next. You could interpret it that way, which would sound more premeditated. I'm going to try and adjust it to all the comments and just see what Brooke says in response. She says, well, it's not true. So there is that. Pretty short, but let's see the additional replies. We might as well, whilst we're here, providing this perspective for other people that have never seen it before and may not have access. Tammy responds, What about Carter Combs telling LE she didn't even know who Noah was? Is that true? Yeah, I do remember hearing many references about that, but I didn't see it directly. Though, Brooke Carter, in a way, kind of acknowledges it. She does say, no, Carter said she didn't know him well. Not that she didn't know him at all. She never wiped her phone. She totally her truck like 2 weeks before this and got a new iPhone, so it was a new phone, not wiped. These are rumours. Right, but who came up with the original claim of phones being factory reset? Okay, I've heard Justin Roy mention it, but he wouldn't have known firsthand because he wasn't at the party, so people have passed info on to him. Is that the family of Justin Roy who did attend the party, those that are married into the Millan family? I mean, there are still many people out there whose names haven't been revealed who may have passed on information at some point and we're just not quite aware of the origins of it all, and it probably would help in a way. So to totally truck, basically crashed, damaged her truck 2 weeks before the party, and the phone got damaged in the process, so she had to buy a new phone. Now, when you buy a new iPhone, you do have the option to transfer data over from your previous device, but then again, if the previous device is completely damaged, it might not pick up via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and all of that. So yeah, maybe files, data and stuff is somewhat corrupted. As for a SIM card, if there was one present, would that have been damaged as well, I wonder? How badly damaged was Carter's original phone? Beyond repair? Cracked screen? Completely smashed up? What exactly? So, if it's beyond repair and you can't transfer or pick up anything, you wouldn't be able to transfer it onto the new phone, so you'd have to be starting off completely from scratch. So I get that. Interesting. But the first part where Brooke says that Carter Combs said she didn't know Noah Presgrove that well. I don't know, I just find that kind of hard to believe, at least how Kaden Pressy worded it, the likes of the Noahs, the Jacks, the Carters, the Averys and them lot, that they met a long time ago, really long time friends, hanging out in car parks because there wasn't much to do, hanging out and drinking alcohol for how many years? I don't know, but they said long time friends, which implies quite a few years over time. So you would have thought by now they would have known each other somewhat well. And if you've got someone like Noah Presgrove who's best friends with Jack Newton, and Jack Newton is kind of in a relationship or a casual one with Carter at the time, you know, there might have been some talk at some point where there's like one introduces the other, or Jack makes references or points to Carter about Noah and who he is. And yeah, maybe 2 weeks before the party, Jack was close to Carter all of a sudden. But then again, some of the family members, Robin Smith, Ashley Chadwick, counter that and say it was actually months before the party when you had Jack Newton and Carter together. So there's some inconsistencies there. Nevertheless, if all these people are long-time friends, to then say, well, I don't actually know Noah Presgrove that well. I'm not saying that I don't know him at all, but I just don't know him that well. Is that some kind of backtracking? Passing on responsibility elsewhere? It just seems a bit weird. Long-time friends, but you don't really know them. What's going on? Just sounds a bit weird. But I am basing it off partially Kaden Pressy's point of view. Okay? Tammy, did you see the shower video? If so, was Noah wearing his black shorts or was he unclothed? Just wondering, I've heard both versions. Stephanie says to Brooke, why was she giving him a shower if she didn't know him very well? How could she not know him well if she is engaged to his best friend? Some fair points, yes. Summarise as what I was trying to say. Brooke, well, they weren't engaged then. Well, that's true. But still in some kind of relationship where you get to know one another and you introduce one another, share likes, dislikes, and, oh, are you friends with anyone? Surely that would have come about. It wasn't like they were holding him up, washing him head to toe. Y'all making it something it wasn't. After the shower, he ran around naked, then put on white shorts. After the shower, he ran around naked. Was he naked, though, in the shower? I guess so. But if you've got a male, unclothed, nothing on their body, in the same room as a female, a girl, who doesn't really know the guy that well, it doesn't sound too safe. It sounds a little bit reckless. Now, if you're comfortable around one another and you've got no issues, I mean, it's probably because you're friends, you know each other well, you know boundaries and respect one another. But then again, was there a level of respect shown towards Noah if people thought it was a good idea to record Noah in the shower? Was Noah aware of it? Did he give consent or what? Recording someone completely unclothed, oh, it's fine. But the roles are reversed the other way around. Oh, there'll be all kinds of hell breaking loose, right? Interesting. But where Brooke Carter says it wasn't like they were holding him up, washing him head to toe. Is that so? In comparison, we do have Carter Combs' response here in regards to the shower. And if I just zoom in a bit closer so you can see for yourself, Carter said, Noah was showered after he got in a little side-by-side wreck, and if you knew Noah, he hated being dirty before going to bed, and he couldn't really stand because he was drunk. Noah couldn't stand because he was drunk. So me, Carter Combs, and Jasmine Millan helped him, but it's not like what people are making it out to be. We just stood there and helped him stand so he didn't fall or anything. So all Carter and Jasmine did was stand there and physically hold Noah so he didn't fall over. Well, that's a contrast to what Brooke says, because Brooke states that when it comes to Carter Combs and Jasmine, it wasn't like they were physically holding him up, washing him head to toe. Right. I mean, Carter didn't say anything about physically washing Noah. So it's kind of consistent with Brooke here. But Carter said we were helping him stand up. To help someone stand up so they don't fall over means you're probably going to prop them up. You're going to have your hand on them very close, maybe helping them get in and out and just propping them up so they don't fall. And Brooke is saying no physical touch or contact was made. So there's already contradictions here between what Brooke says and what Carter says. It's not a good look, right? What else? Jasmine, I've never heard the last part mentioned anywhere before now. Brooke, really? That's crazy. I know Robin Smith even said it months ago. Not sure how long you've been around, but yeah, after the shower, Noah ran around naked, teabagged some sleeping people, likely Kaden Pressy, Brylan Sweat, Isaac Rojas, Mikey, and finally put on some white shorts, which was supposedly Jack's, then sat down to eat some yogurt and ramen noodles. And then I guess proceeded onwards to go to the bedroom, and then it all kicked off from there. Jasmine, lol at the teabagging. I've only heard the food story from one person. Brooke, yes, apparently he was having a lil fun. Lol. He might have been having fun, but would the other partygoers have been having fun, having known or later knowing what Noah did to him? And would they have ever seen the supposed video footage of it? What was their response? Laura Dutton, if you're speaking about running around naked like a 3-year-old, I haven't called BS. Miranda, but Renee Millan said nobody had new photos. Sounds like more fodder. Brooke, where? Could be. Miranda, let me see if I have it in my notebook. Okay. I've just never heard Renee Millan say that, but Carter absolutely had a new phone. Well, excuse me, 2-week-old phone. I know I say new and I'll get hammered by someone saying, no, it's 2 weeks old. Well, we don't need to be too specific there. Dina, wonder if he threw up or something when he went for his cool-off walk because there was no food in his stomach, just what looked like alcohol. I mean, you got the theme of Kaden Pressy's cousin throwing up and a photo of that, which I have never seen before, and maybe some of you haven't. But don't worry, I do have the photo of it, and I'll share it with you soon. Miranda, I don't have it in my screenshots. I believe it's on the family page, which I no longer have access to. I'll continue to ask about. What's this one? Also, here you go. I found it when I looked a little deeper or something else. Crazy to go back to see what I've got screenshots of. Okay. What's mentioned here? Renee Millan, mother to Jasmine, Stephanie and Jade Millan. Renee responds to Justin Roy 48 weeks ago. Okay? Renee says, first off, I don't have to explain anything to you over this stupid ass post, but I will since you can't ask face to face any of your questions. My daughter, Jasmine, would gladly share with you what happened that night. And since you want to talk about me selling a car, that car has been drove in a year and a half. Been in the shop, I can prove that. Secondly, who has gotten new phones? None that were at the party that I know of, and the OHP has taken and dumped all their phones. We met up at a house to comfort our kids who are dealing with a tragedy. We're all friends and our kids all hang out, obviously. Well, if all your kids hang out, obviously, how come Carter claims that she doesn't know Noah Presgrove that well after all these years? Bit weird. Every kid at that party has been interviewed multiple times by OHP and OSBI. Private investigators are not state agents, not federal agents, and not held at the same standards. All involved have cooperated fully with this investigation. Nothing more than they could possibly do to cooperate anymore to come any closer to fighting Gansers. Oh, so what you're saying is, the partygoers, the kids and all them have cooperated as best as they can with police. But when it comes to the online aspects, some of them have not cooperated quite well and have resorted to threatening language, behaviour, and stories changing with time. So how they may have presented themselves formally in the background in real life doesn't represent how they appear online. So that's inconsistent in itself. Okay? But where it's highlighted, Renee Millan stating, who has got new phones? No one from the party that I know of, or the OHP, have taken, aren't aware that they've got new phones. And yet, Brooke Carter saying in defence of Carter Combs, whose phone was claimed to have been wiped, wasn't the case. It's just a brand new phone in which 2 weeks before the party, involved in some kind of crash, phone damage, got a new iPhone, starting off from scratch, yet Renee isn't aware of it and states with a certain level of confidence that no one has got new phones. Is that a breakdown in communication? Is one lying? Is one telling the truth? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. What's the response by Brooke? Gotcha. Well, Carter's was new 2 weeks, but everyone did get their phones taken and dumped. Possibly, I know Emmy mentioned to Ellie ramen noodles were found because we were told by Ellie that Carter's story completely aligns. I also know there were things found that aren't listed on this version of the report. That would be one of the things. What? ME mentioned to the police ramen noodles were found. Found where? Near to Noah's body? In his body? Elsewhere? Vomit? Party house? What exactly? If this can be continued on the discussion in the comment section of this video itself, that would be appreciated. And if there are certain details which have been, not included on the official autopsy report, why? Normally, autopsy reports, to my knowledge, tend to mention just about everything. And at times there might be an autopsy report which mentions everything, but it's just not released public until much later on. I mean, get off. Is there a small chance that if there are key details which aren't included on the public autopsy report will be included in the future with a more updated report? Whenever. Anyone know? So, we got that. Might be an ongoing discussion. Be sure to check back on the page if you want, because there might be new things along the way. Now, moving up, we don't need to look at that one. Dylan Thompson, who runs this page? Right, so what's this one? Hold on. Check out relationship between Stevie Howard and Brooke Carter. Who knows if they also like whipped cream off each other? That's a bit random. Does Brooke respond? No, she isn't. Hi, I'm Brooke, really good friends with Stevie Howard. This gal is mental, possibly. Okay. What's the next one? Right, so once again, you might have admins or people in charge, whatever, on certain pages, and at the same time, they are being possibly disrespected or called out on. Goddamn tripod. What does this say? The guy is completely full of shit, and go figure, he's an admin. Some guy spreading lies, rumours, speculation. What a disgrace to the case. What a disgrace to the family. Real friends of the people that actually knew him. This stuff has gotten so far out of hand and away from what the goal should have been. Report these fools. So Dylan Thompson is wanting Michael Fazekaz to be reported, who is also, an admin on this page or something like that. What a mess. But I'm just showing this as, to document, so you see it for yourself, what people truly think about one another. You never know, you might need it in the future to reference. Jamie, I'm trying to say to these people, learn how to row out this disinformation, but no, they want to sit and spin in this. Brooke, are you defending Michael? Brooke says, you're absolutely correct. Have got had, oh God, this bloody language, the privilege to meet Justin Roy? Question, he's even worse. Jennifer, I wish it would stop doing that. Wait, I thought he lived in the community. He acts like he knows more than everyone. How am I lost in this? Been here since May. Nope, he doesn't, but it looks like Dylan does. Who the hell is Dylan? Oh, this Dylan. I certainly do live here, and I know I've known everyone on both sides of this thing for a long time. This story with Lucio is so far from the truth. I'm not here to say anything about No's case because I have no facts, nor does anyone else for that matter, but this stuff about Lucio and that little girl are totally false, and it's disgusting to read and see everyone falling for the makes me wonder what their actual mission is, because it definitely isn't from the truth. I don't know what the hell that is on about, really. Don't come at me. I didn't mention her name. Yeah, goes on, life stories, whatnot. What's this? I get, no ma'am, he lives in Oregon. I think doped is the best word for them. I grew up extremely close to Elwood, and a friend of mine lost her daughter there. Mutual friends of hers. Been a sad few years there. I'm glad to see that you're open, seeing the full picture now. I really don't want to come off as rude and hateful, but I've been taking up for the kids from the get-go, so you can imagine over a year dealing with hate against them. Sorry for being so hateful. Interesting. I get it, I need to apologise to you too. I wasn't nice and that's not who I am. I remember thinking I knew what happened. Okay. I think new allegiances may be pledged at some point. This is going to be my future prediction. Let's head on over. It wouldn't surprise me if you got a handful, majority, community, kind of see things in line with one another for the same cause, has maybe a certain negative outlook of the minority, those within the case or those that get themselves involved, put their foot in the door of the case. Friends of friends, family of family, to the party goers, things like that. But it could well get to a point where some of the minority, who are seen as the dark force, end up suddenly becoming friendly or nice all of a sudden, or the other way around, with some of the community, new allegiances are formed, and then they end up going against some of the other community members that were once in line with the previous community members. I think you might see a slight shift and change with time, whether that be the power dynamics or just the levels of loyalty or allegiances. See, on a very small scale, I've seen it myself when it comes to YouTube, okay? As long as you can get the cleansing done as soon as possible, get out of the way, know who is who, what they're about, and then you can move forwards. But it just wouldn't surprise me if there is a shift. Be on the lookout for it. Now, with that being said, let's just take a look at a particular photo. The context behind it will make more sense in a second. It's to do with Kaden Pressy's cousin. I'm going to show you a photo which some of you may have never seen before. This is the interesting photo found. I came across it just today on one of the Daily Mail articles. There's a handful of them with time from Daily Mail and further afar. But the key thing is, these type of party photos relevant to the actual party which Noah attended, they're just spread about, scattered around. Yeah, this may be public, it might not sound as significant, but it's just a new angle and perspective, something which I've never seen before, and maybe some of you haven't either. It would have been nice if all the photos and media was collected together in one place and then ordered in the correct timestamp. No actual timestamp has been mentioned here specifically, but there is a caption where it says, Kaden Pressy's 15-year-old cousin at the time got so drunk she was throwing up, and Kaden sent this photo to his mother of her sitting on the ground before he went to sleep a little before 2 in the morning. Now that's really, really eye-opening. We can analyse the photo in just a second, but in terms of Kaden taking a photo of his cousin to show to the mother that she's doing okay, that was more so the reference of this. This must have been earlier on at the party. So Kaden said originally 10:30 p.m. Sunday night, and that would have been September the 3rd, 2023, when the cousin came on down. What's the name of the cousin? Someone called Georgia or something like that. 15 years old. Wow. Probably one of the youngest party goers there. A 15-year-old girl around 18, 19, 20 plus year olds. Sounds a bit, but in terms of Kaden Pressy, Kaden wasn't anticipating her to come on down. She chose to. Because of that, when Kaden was aware, Kaden said he sobered up to ensure that she was safe and okay. Now, no blame whatsoever, but it's okay saying that, but then when you get a photo like this, a 15-year-old that has drunk alcohol under the age of drinking, breaking some rules there, and I know it links back to the party host, but still, well, actually, with this occasion, 15-year-old, can they make their own choices and decisions to an extent, but they could be taken advantage of. They're still deemed as a teenager, but they're not even of like an adult age. Like I said previously, when you get an 18-year-old, they might not be at the right age to be drinking, such as in the US, but they are of an adult age to be making other decisions and drinking responsibly, if not drinking at all, just drinking actual water and other stuff like that. Obviously, at a party and when there's no one else around, no authority, police, you're probably going to be a bit reckless, like how most people could be, still within reason. But just putting that aside, when you've got an actual 15-year-old, it's a bit different because they're a much younger age. There needs to be a level of, not that you can hold a person's hand 24/7, but I don't think a 15-year-old being present at a party full of 18, 19, 20-year-olds is a smart idea, but it was her choice to do that. Went on down with her friend. I'm guessing the friend the same age or just a little bit older. Did anything else bad happen? Not from the looks of it, but if Kaden said he was sobering up to make sure she was safe and okay, not that I'm pinning any blame or responsibility, just in case people misinterpret it. What did Kaden think about the cousin drinking a lot of alcohol, then later throwing up? Once again, you can't look over your shoulders 24/7. You're there for yourself, having a party, having a good time. But no disrespect, but you got excess baggage. Other people now you got to take responsibility, care of. You weren't anticipating them to come on down, but now they're here and they're of a younger, more vulnerable age and related via family member, cousin. You got to take care, and you'll probably have a level of concern for the safety of them and how they're doing, how they're feeling. But you also probably want to have fun yourself. But did at any point Kaden say to the cousin, hey, you probably shouldn't be drinking alcohol, or I think that's enough for now, you need to stop? Any of those conversations? Did any of the other party goers encourage Kaden's cousin, a 15-year-old, to drink alcohol? Was anything forced on them to drink? Any peer pressure? Stuff like that? Because it doesn't look good here. To refer back to, that person there in the white shirt is the 15-year-old cousin of Kaden. And there she is there, hunched over, head in her arms, not looking too good. Bit more zoomed out. You can see her reaching over, grabbing something. I don't know if that's alcohol or something else, but then you got Noah Presgrove on the side with his typical hat and his black shorts. This would have been Sunday night, in case you were wondering, hence the black shorts, appearing quite clean. Noah's body looking fairly clean as well, at least from that angle. Do we have any other photos? Yes, this final one where Kaden zooms out. You can see the pink knee brace, which indicates that it's him. And he himself confirmed that he took this video just to show to Alicia, to say, the cousin is here, she's safe, she's okay, everything's fine. And then what? Oh, by the way, she's outside of the party house on the side of the porchway, head in hands on the floor, vomiting. Or, throwing up after getting so drunk. And it says, Kaden sent this photo to Alicia on the ground before Kaden went to sleep at around 2 a.m. So, at around 2 a.m. when Kaden did go to sleep, the cousin was still at the party? 42 minutes later, 2:42 is when Kaden was woken up by Alicia Lee phone call announcing that the cousin had made it back safely. And just before that, the process of, I think it was Alicia or someone else, meeting up along the side of the highway, because they saw through the Life 360 app there was movement from the cousin leaving the party at a certain time, but in another vehicle by someone, and it seemed a bit dodgy. So family members stepped on in, came across them, pulled up side of the highway, got her out of the vehicle, and took her home directly to the parents or whoever, family member. So at 2:42, it was announced by Alicia that that was all done successfully. Do we know the exact time when the cousin walked away from the party? Left? That'd be interesting to know. To say that the photo was sent a little before 2 a.m. doesn't mean to say it's around the same time as when the photo was taken. If you think about it, 10:30 p.m. Sunday night, partying, drinking. Does Kaden ever say, what did Kaden think of her drinking? Reckless, irresponsible? Was he disappointed? Who knows? And then, going into Monday morning, going outside, throwing up. Now, from the looks of it, Kaden is the one to have taken this photo, I guess. Did Kaden never mentioned about this in his interview. Not once have I seen or heard it mentioned, which is interesting. All Kaden ever referred to was, cousin came on down, Kaden sobered up to ensure that she was safe. No one hit it on her, no one did anything bad to her. And that was it. Never heard about the alcohol side and getting so drunk that you threw up. I've heard it loosely mentioned maybe in other articles or discussions online, but I've never seen it attached with a photo of proof. But now we finally have it. Hallelujah. Bloody hell. Public photo, but hard to get a hold of. It's crazy. So what can we see here? I'm going to try and zoom in. The ground, grass type dirt, pretty dead, dry. The grass itself, because of the season, the temperature, not being watered at all. On the left, you got an individual with 2 shoes. Are they the Hey Dude slip-on shoes? Because they look like Hey Dude shoes. If so, that would be possibly Kaden Pressy. But why is the photo taken from that angle? You'd be rotating the camera a weird way. I don't know, it just seems a bit dodgy. Nearby, you got like a blue can, could be a beer can of hers, possibly. On the step area, you got another can, a grey one. Then what's that big drum of some sort or cylinder object? Is it just a bucket? A barrel? I'm not too sure. Let me know your thoughts down below. Looks like concrete, which would indicate the patio area. Where about? The back of the party house or the front of the party house? Closer or further away from the shed, the barn? I think it would be closer to the shed barn. This could be, and I'm not saying with a great level of confidence, this could be possibly near to the spot of where Brylan Sweat ran away from Noah when slapping him earlier. Earlier or later? Depends what time, of course. I think the Brylan slapping Noah was around 1:30 in the morning on Monday, and Kaden recorded that. So at least by 1:30 in the morning, was Kaden's cousin still at the party? And how drunk was she, if she was present? Now, who else is there? So the cousin just doesn't look too well. It doesn't look too good. Just close that down. There we go. Can't see any vomit. I don't know where it is. The ground looks black, burnt, but I don't know if that's just shadowing. It could well be shadows. There's another shoe there, just one leg. I don't know if that's by the person who's taking the photo or just an individual standing around. But who could it be? Who could that leg be? So sat down, you've got the cousin of Kaden. Then to the left, possibly Kaden himself with his Hey Dude shoes. Both on, both being worn, not missing. And then a third individual to the side. No names truly mentioned. We'll just have to interpret what we've got here. Still, very interesting. It's always good to see alternative, newer photos at the party. Public or recently released. And then the pre-existing ones as well. So let me know your thoughts down below. I mean, I can't quite see. I guess Kaden isn't wearing shoes there. It's hard to tell. It's not like I can compare them to this frame here. But just drop a comment down below anyway. And last but not least, we get onto the comment section. As I said, some interesting discussions, whether they link or not to today's videos, we still need to acknowledge them. Teresa, cheers to Raf, excellent report. Appreciate that. Shout out to Teresa, welcome to the channel. I don't know how long she's been around for, but seems like a good individual. We got John. No one asked what happened to Noah at that point. What point, though? It's probably in relation to something I said in my video, but I can't remember the exact timestamp. John, they know what happened. What, all the partygoers? John also says, polygraphs are unreliable. I guess so, yeah. Candy, thank you all like Raf, good report. You're welcome, Candy. Appreciate that. Good username as well. Micheline, returning once again. What does she say? The black shorts were left in the bathroom after the shower. Pretty straightforwards. Well, it is, if that's the truth. I've just not heard it mentioned enough. First time I'm hearing this. The only reason all this nonsense about the shorts is because Tyler's story didn't fit with Kaden's. So here comes big conspiracy, didn't happen. You know what would be good, Micheline? If besides Kaden Pressy's story, Brylan Sweat, Mikey Rojas, Mikey Lair, all individually said what they saw, as in at 5:21 to 5:30. Were the black, were the white, the shorts? It'd make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? Jade says, who's Tyler? Tyler Hardy, the individual that tried calling police at 5:46, bad signal. Second call, the final call, 5:53. Tyler Hardy. Got Clea, shout out to Clea. +1. Who was answering Noah's calls? Someone must have tried calling him when he went missing. That's a fair point, that. I can understand. Any responses? Luann, not if they knew he was dead. So they knew where Noah was, there'd be no need to call him. But then again, there would be a reason to call Noah to stage it as in you're concerned, you care, but you're also playing dumb, blind, worried, the worried party. What the hell's going on? Where is he at? We actually know where he's at. We know what's happened, but we need to make it sound like we don't know. Make it sound like we are worried or concerned. You know, if you're truly trying to stage something, if that's what the claims are being put into this case with people, things would have been set up in advance, but doesn't seem to be the case. It's like with the Kenny Beach case. Supposedly there are some who could be in on it, even the girlfriend, but still, the girlfriend reported Kenny Beach as missing. Whether that be genuine or not, an attempt was made there, so it sounds more natural. Because normally, if you're connected to someone or close, you're probably going to take some kind of action because you're concerned for the safety of the person, and the more concern you show, the more normal you appear. If you just happen to be responsible for the outcome of someone's death or disappearance, you still need to act concerned and show care so you blend in better. So you could say it's setting it up and it's manipulation, it's not natural, but some do it to protect themselves, to hide in the shadows more. Beth, supposedly the phone was left at the party house. Yes, the phone might have been left at the party house, but if certain partygoers weren't aware and didn't know, they might have just assumed that it was on Noah, so let's make a quick call, see where he's at. It just would have been nice to know whether any calls, text messages were sent towards Noah at a point when he was supposedly gone from the party. Key question. CC, well, I've learned that common sense is not present in everyone. Don't ever lose your sense of humour. I think it's hilarious. Congratulations on the 15,000 subscribers. I appreciate that, CC. Good individual. Luana, especially in the area. Tricia, common sense and a sense of humour goes a long ways. Too many of the ones that know what happened was done to Noah. Their toes are getting stepped on. They can dish it out but can't handle the heat. So defensive, obvious, they all know. Just a matter of time. Those smart comments, they're going to be eating them. Tricia, the more I read, hear in the comments and watching videos, Noah's case is so much like the Louis Lewis murdered by boyfriend Matthew Egder case. You can only run so long. Long live Louis and Noah. Justice is coming. Okay, I've not heard of that case before, but anyone in the live chat, let me know if you have. Lindy, sounds like Jack Newton putting on an act if what Carter Combs says is genuinely true and correct. What did Carter Combs say about Jackie Boy? I guess I missed that. Carter Combs and Avery Combs both wanted Noah. Carter Combs will run around on Jackie Boy, just give it time and we'll throw each other under the bus before it's all over. It's in the message. Thank you, I was busy when listening, so I missed it. Basically, Carter Combs stated that when Jack returned back, he rushed on in a rush. He didn't calmly walk in, but he rushed on in, ploughed his head into the pillow or the arms of Carter Combs in the room, and then explained what was happening. And then that's how the news spread. But Jack said himself he walked on in calmly. He told the odd individual one by one. And yet Kaden was saying, no, Jack stormed on in and announced the news and I think made reference to burying the head in the pillow or something, which what Kaden says links more with what Carter says. But what Carter was saying was defending Jack, and even though Jack was going against what Carter was saying, so Jack contradicted the conversation or the discussion with what Carter was saying, even though Carter was having a go or countering what Kaden was saying by saying Kaden was wrong. But in that instance, Kaden was consistent with what Carter said. Carter was consistent with what Kaden said, but not consistent with what Jack said, even though Jack and Carter are together, yet Carter and Jack aren't in sync with one another. There's a breakdown in communication, basically. Gary, my opinion, I believe Kaden Pressy timeline, 5:15 a.m. I'd be upset if my best friend died. Jack, whatever, horse winning in England today, 8th of November. I don't know. I'm not into horse racing. My opinion, so just say none of the party group know what happened to Noah. Some one or three other people involved arrived between 3 a.m. to 5:15. Marina, this is not Finding Bigfoot. Junie, so when did Jack bury his head? It doesn't say. In Carter Combs' bed, when he came in telling everyone Noah was dead, that's what's being said, but remember the story changes every day. Yes, it does. It's exhausting, to be honest. Carter Combs didn't give a timestamp when Jack buried his head into Carter's bed, but Carter did say that Kaden's timeline is wrong. 5:15 isn't correct. But besides the timing there and the disagreement there, what Carter was stating was similar to what Kaden was stating. So it's ironic how Carter is calling out Kaden for inconsistencies, yet those two are more consistent with one another indirectly when it comes to describing what Jack did when storming on in, even though Jack himself individually has actually gone against both. That's what's ironic. Sonny, love how you don't give up on this case. Keep it up. Great work. Appreciate that to Sonny. Rebecca Bailey with the emojis. I think that's when I started my voice towards the end of that video. So Bailey. Is it Bailey or Bailey? Whichever one. We've got Glenn. Beth. How would anyone be calm knowing your best friend died? Very weird. Renee Millan spent a lot of time at the crime scene, didn't she? Before making it to the party house, knowing the girls were so upset she didn't rush to them. Supposedly, Kaden worded it as in Renee was there for 30 minutes. And I guess Renee told Kaden that when arriving at the party house at 6:30 in the morning. But Renee said she wasn't there that long at the scene. So who knows? Great points. Appreciate that, Beth. I wonder why that is, Ralph. Why are they gunning for you? Because you are exposing it all? The reason why humans, more so the general public, will attack me is either because of some kind of jealousy, some kind of obsession or gay obsession, some kind of body and mind disconnect in which the mind or the body will tell them no, but the other will say yes. That's why they keep coming back and forth and they're in conflict with their own self. They might not like the idea that I've got more stamina than them. They might not like the idea that I can think of more things and variety than they can ever. There's numerous reasons. It could be down to evolutionary competitiveness. It could be down to evolutionary territorial behaviour. I've seen it all previously, so it could link. Brooke always threatens many. She just threatened me today and then blocked me. What did Brooke say to you which was considered a threat? Safia, I know. I've seen her in action. The only reason I feel kind of bad about showing my disdain for Brooke is because it could negatively affect Noah's case, as Raf has said. I mean, individually, I don't think it would harm the case. I mean, if Safia needs to release herself, and I don't mean that in a dodgy way, but maybe unwind, you can leave your thoughts and comments in the chat or the live chat, because it's away from the main community of Noah. It's away from the Facebook pages, so it's not going to have as much negative backlash. So you can share your thoughts, Safia, if you want to, and I'm sure you'll be able to control yourself without the intervention of the big black belt, BBB. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Beth, don't we all wish we could handle people as well and smoothly as Raf does? There we go. Okay. You always clear it up perfectly. Thank you for doing so. Appreciate that. You're welcome. People can be so ridiculous. True. Just like that person in the past that accused me of doxing the location of a ginger cat, an actual cat, and mentioning a reference to Daddy had a tea party with the ginger cat. I was simply reading out a comment what they said themselves. A public comment. How stupid. Anyway, Safia, the whole family is not in agreement with Robin's comment. It also possible Robin has changed her mind on that. Yes, true. I don't believe Carter Combs' story and Jack's polygraph was inconclusive. I don't think he had been cleared, but of course she's defending him since they're together, which is fair. You can say it's biased, conflict of interest, but it's like normal human behaviour. Peace in Christ alone. I don't know if I said that right. Powell, do you have Cash App? No, I don't have Cash App. Only YouTube itself with, you know, how it is, and PayPal. That's it. The reason why I don't have all the others is because, well, just personally, it just seems a bit overkill and a bit too much, to be honest. with time, how things were implemented on my channel. It wasn't rushed. It was just because credit to some viewers that wanted to show support or additional support. They suggested, why don't you set this up or set that up? So that's what I've done. In terms of Cash App, I don't really know too much about it. I don't know what the difference is between that and PayPal, but yeah, I don't have that, only PayPal. With that being said, that seems to be it of the comments. With that being said, hopefully you did enjoy this video. Be sure to hit the like button, share it, so more get to see these conversations and points of views. And some of what's been said maybe by Brooke Carter could be considered old news, but it has been reiterated again recently, as in new comments and posts. Stuff which some may have never seen before and others may have forgotten about. Bring it all together once again. And for those that are seeing it as same old, well, just monitor what's been said today by Brooke. Is it consistent with what's been said by her in the past or others? I mean, it's very important to acknowledge what Brooke has stated about the shower situation isn't consistent with what Carter said. Brooke's saying, you know, it's not like they held Noah or touched him or washed him from head to toe. None of that happened. They were just there. So you got girls stood in the bathroom watching or kind of watching a male with no clothes on have a wash, and you just stand there. And supposedly Carter doesn't know Noah that well. So, what are we going to do today? Well, we're actually going to walk about. We're going to come across someone who's got no clothes on. We're going to stand there. We might look, we might not. Get in close proximity in a small room. And by the way, I don't even really know that person. But one thing that I do know is there's not much, you know, what the person's wearing. But, oh well, what? Oh, I don't really know this individual that well, but I know that person more so, and they're stepping on into the shower with Noah, who's fully unclothed, and they're very close together and laughing. Oh, and someone whip a phone out and record it. Yeah, I'm going to record someone that I don't really know, but there's no proof to say that Carter did record anything. But there is supposedly shower footage, so someone else may have done that. But yeah, let's just all be in the same room. We don't really know one another, but we'll just be here anyway. What the hell? That sounds, I don't know, it just seems a bit weird, a bit odd. And with what Kaden said in the past about them being long-time friends, knowing one another, hanging out in car parks in the past, it just doesn't quite align. Carter saying that she was there to help Noah stand up, to help someone stand up, to remain upright would probably mean having the hands on the body every now and then, or keeping the hands glued onto his body wherever the hands may be placed. Nothing else dodgy happening, but some kind of physical contact made to ensure that Noah doesn't fall over. And yet Brooke is saying it's not like they helped Noah stand up, but Carter said she did help Noah stand up. So there's a contradiction. It might not be major, it might not be groundbreaking, but inconsistencies and contradictions are inconsistencies and contradictions. And on a smaller scale, you can upscale it to bigger things and say, what else is incorrect? What else is unstable? And more. Oh, let's move on to the next theme. Carter Combs, Jack Newton. Jack did this when he got back. Carter Combs says Jack did this when he got back. It doesn't quite align, but it does with Kaden, even though Carter doesn't quite agree with Kaden. What a mess. I can see it in here, I get an idea, but hopefully it was explained clear enough, or as close to that. And as well, a new edition of a party piece of footage, a photo, which I've never seen before. Maybe some of you haven't. Just shows the condition, what the cousin was in of Kaden's. Completely drunk, probably not good really. 15 years old as well, not good, but their own choice to come on down to the party. Was it also their own choice to drink? Maybe. Depends if the 15-year-old did it naturally, was forced to drink, or any peer pressure. Was Kaden aware of the drinking at the time? Did Kaden try protesting or stopping her from drinking? Obviously, you can't babysit someone 24/7, of course. You do your own thing at the party, and you weren't anticipating them to come on down. I get all that, but was there any kind of interaction at any point? Or like when that photo was taken of her outside vomiting, did Kaden say, you probably shouldn't have done that? Why did you do that? Maybe you should go home, or I don't know. Who knows what the conversations went. I'm just throwing it in there as possibilities. I think we'll leave it there for now. This was a bit of an unexpected video, but the idea came about all of a sudden. So we'll see what happens next, but thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night for now.